If something seems scary to us, it might be a good thing to avoid it because there might be some very real danger that we should not get ourselves into. But just because something is scary doesn't mean that it has to be avoided. Facing our fears can help us grow in some courage. We might be afraid at the first time we jump off of a diving board. Might build up some courage and we might learn to love it. There's some things that seem scary that we avoid, even though going to them and doing those things will actually provide us with a lot of safety. To tell someone that there has been abuse, that you've been abused, it's scary to think about doing that, but it can lead to safety. To tell someone that you've been addicted to something, it's a scary thought, but then you have someone who can support you, who's on your side, who wants to be compassionate towards you and wants to strengthen you, doesn't want you to go through it alone. Sometimes some of the most scary things can be things that will end up providing us with great safety. The scariest place can also be the safest place. This coming Sunday, we're going to hear about Moses and the burning bush. It's really about Moses meeting God. And when Moses saw that the bush was burning up, but it wasn't like being consumed, it was on fire, but it wasn't totally burning up and becoming nothing, he went over, he was interested, he went to check it out. But when he recognized who was actually there, then he was afraid. To be a sinner in the presence of the holy God, there's nothing scarier. This is why our consciences plague us. We know that there is a God. We know that there is right from wrong. We know that when it comes to right and wrong, we haven't fallen on the right side. And this God is holy, and he's a judge. And it's a terrifying thing to think about being in the presence of God, to think about God seeing everything, knowing all, being all present. But the scariest place to be face to face with God becomes the safest place for us because our God hides in order to rescue us. He hid in the burning bush as he came down with this rescue plan to bring the children of Israel out of slavery in Egypt and eventually into the Promised Land. And he hid in the womb of the Blessed Virgin Mary, in the flesh and blood of Jesus Christ. He is God hidden. Jesus is God hiding so that he can save us, so that we don't have to be afraid, so that we can be safe. And so when we meet with Jesus, word and sacrament, we're meeting with God, and that's the scariest place. But it's also the only safe place that exists. And this Sunday, we're going to be with Jesus in his word and the Blessed Sacrament. And as we get ready for Sunday morning, we'll start thinking about some of those thoughts of God being holy and we being sinful, and coming into the presence of God, which can be rightfully terrifying, but is also the only safe place for us. And God's peace be with you today.